Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, house, and papers and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. On October 31st, 1963, the Cleveland police detective Martin McFaben arrested John W. Terry for finding a pistol during an unlawful search. He was pleaded guilty, but he argues, stating his Fourth Amendment right has been violated, taking it to the Supreme Court in 1966. The Supreme Court later allowed stop and frisk to be allowed in order to keep the officers on duty safe from harm, which basically means police officers are allowed to do searches without warrant based on reasonable suspicion.
In 1991, police officers boarded a bus headed to Miami and spotted a young colored male and asked to search his bag with no reason to search or question him. He allowed them, thinking he did not have a say in the matter. During the search, they discovered cocaine. When his trial came about, he argued that his Fourth Amendment was being violated. The Supreme Court pleaded him guilty nonetheless, saying that what officers did were allowed under protocol of reasonable suspicion. Officers can approach individuals at random on buses to ask them questions and to request consent to search their luggage so long as a reasonable person would understand that he or she could refuse to cooperate. Unfortunately, many citizens don't know that they have the right to say no. The Fourth Amendment is supposed to protect citizens from unlawful search or seizures, but in the context of the drug war, courts have found ways to work around it. Police are able to negate probable cause with court's rendition known as reasonable suspicion. The police have stopped and searched many citizens, especially people of color. These searches go along with the stereotypes of minorities being criminals and have led to increased incarceration and harassment in communities.
In the last 30 years, a lot has changed in our prison systems. The number of prisoners in the United States has increased dramatically in the last few decades. Michelle Alexander writes in The New Jim Crow, "In 2 short decades between 1980 and 2000, the number of people incarcerated in our nation's prisons and jails soared from roughly 300,000 to more than 2 million. This is connected to the stop and frisk and the Fourth Amendment in the way that this has led to mass incarceration with its connection to the war on drugs."
The war on drugs was supposedly to rid the country of drugs and big-time dealers. In the end, the stop and frisk method and other aggressive policing seems to target only a general group of people who are either a minority or acting suspicious. Most people that were found to have committed a crime during the procedure of stop and frisk were only arrested for drug possession. In 2005, 4 out of 5 drug arrests were for possession, only 1 out of 5 was for sale. Most people in state prison have no history of violence or significant selling activity. This proves that aggressive policing methods do not target big-time dealers, but promote the idea that all minorities are criminals, especially African American and Latinos.